Whoa, there's a buzz. Can you hear me? Hey, there, that's better. Oh, so it wasn't turned on, so it was sending a buzz instead? Weird. Hey, there, that's Oh, hey, I hear myself coming back on the stream. Oh, so it wasn't turned on, so it was sending a buzz instead? It sounds really good. Oh, hey, I hear myself coming back on the stream. It sounds like really good.
Okay, so now I have my microphone on, so you're going to hear it in a second here.
Oh, yours?
Yeah.
It sounds like really good.
Now I have my... Okay, so I need to go higher, right?
Yeah, your audio is pretty low.
Okay. Let's try that. Okay, so I need to go higher, right?
Yeah, your audio is pretty low.
Okay. Let's try that. How does this sound? Well, I should have been talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Whoops. So let's find out. I'm waiting to hear it from yours. Do you have your audio maxed on there?
Wait, hold on.
I've been talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Whoops. Does it sound okay when it was like that, or does it need to go higher? Do you have your audio maxed on there?
Wait, hold on. Yeah. I think it sounds pretty good.
Is yours sounds louder than mine?
It sounds like it probably is. I can turn mine down a little bit if you need me to.
I can turn it down from here.
I think it sounds pretty good.
Is yours sounds louder than mine?
Well, like I've got my monitor speakers, or I got my speakers set up pretty much the level that I use when I edit. So
right. So I just need to I just want to get a setting that I can always just like turn it right to it.
I think sometimes when it's sounding quiet, it's just because it's going back through my microphone and
right.
30-second delay later. So
well, I turned off the delay. You can turn off like a little bit of the delay now.
It sounds like I think sometimes when I think I just heard your audio come back pretty loud over the stream.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm way louder than you. Well, I turned off the delay. You can turn off like a little bit of the delay now.
I mean, it's not much though. It's pretty good all around.
I just kind of adjusted it a little bit. So let's see what happens now. Then we have to worry about the... Now I'm way louder than you.
Well, eventually I need to mute the stream, obviously.
Right. But I mean, I just want to get everything so it's... So let's see what happens now. So we sound pretty good. Okay, so you just say test 1, 2, and I'll say it right after you.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3. Now we wait for it. I just want to get everything so it's... So we sound pretty good. Okay, so you just say test 1, 2, and I'll say it right after.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3. Now we wait for it. Are we pretty even, you say?
I think so, as far as I can tell.
All right, so I'm going to come in with the game audio now, and we're going to see how that sounds. All right, I just started it, so wait for it to come through. Even, you say?
I think so. As far as I can tell.
Alright, so I'm going to come with the game audio now.
Oh, this is kind of funny.
I can start with it, so wait for it to go through.
I think so. As far as I can
Alright.
tell. Oh, this is kind of funny. I mean, it sounds like it's probably pretty good. It's not like overpowering or anything.
Excellent. Is there anybody even in there?
Yeah, there's some people in there. Someone was asking if I have played Valkyrie Profile. And the answer is, I have. It was a long time ago, bro. It was probably like 9 years ago. And I didn't really understand it, so I didn't really get very far. I don't have it anymore. I played the PSP version. It's a game that I would like to maybe give another try to someday, though, but it didn't do much for me at the time. It was when I was starting my job, so I wasn't really in the right frame of mind to grasp a complex game.
Yeah, I got to the last dungeon in it, and there's like one boss that I couldn't beat. Because it's like a typical like tri-ace kind of deal where it's like gets really hard at times.
Yeah, like I think the only tri-ace games I've actually finished are Radiata Stories and Resonance of Fate, which
I haven't played either of those.
Radiata wasn't particularly hard, but Resonance of Fate was like really hard. Though I don't think it had to be necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, I'm bringing up the stream channel on my laptop here. This is just like the only time we'll have to really worry about this, hopefully.
Worry about what?
Messing with the audio, because once I know what we're doing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, mine tends to be pretty consistent, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gone through phases where everything is just different all the time, but it's been pretty consistent for a while.
Alright, I am logging in here. I've never like been on here and like been on camera before, so it's gonna be weird.
Did you tweet the stream?
I didn't, because I wanted to wait until everything was set here. I think that we're just about ready, so give me a second. All right. I hope the lighting is set up okay, so hang on 1 second, I'll be right back.
I mean, it looked pretty good when you tested it or showed me the results the other day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Like, I have those lights that I have over my TV on and stuff like that, so it's hopefully darkening out the background. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, if you put component cables into a standard definition CRT, it's not going to accept 480p. However, there were a lot of non-HD LCD TVs that would take 480p, and they'll have something like, it'll say EDTV, Enhanced Definition TV. It'll say that on those, but of course, you're not really getting the benefit that you would want to get because it's not a CRT. But I have tried to find if there is such a thing as a CRT that is not HD and accepts 480p, and as far as I can tell, that is something that has scarcely existed. I do have an HD CRT, which isn't really the thing to get, and we want to kind of go over all those kinds of things in a future episode focusing on CRTs. But yeah, I wish there was such a thing as a CRT that just went no higher than 480p, because that would look beautiful. But it's kind of scales it wrong when the CRT is capable of HD. I understand that Dreamcast VGA on a old CRT computer monitor looks pretty astounding. Now, I've actually got one I can test it on, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Alright, let me just move this so it's not constantly rubbing against my shirt. I think we have a pretty good setup here. Like, I think it could be...
easy to do week to week?
Yeah, I think so. Alright, so let's see if this works. Is everyone ready?
Oh man, I've been streaming on Hitbox for so long now. It's going to be weird getting the stream delay back.
Alright, so I switched everything over. And here I am. You gotta tell me if I should be in camera and everything now. You gotta tell me if I do anything funny, because I can't really see myself.
Hey, here we are.
There I am.
Oh man, it's kind of like dark and atmospheric in here.
Okay, hang on. I can turn up the light. Hang on.
I mean, I kind of like it.
Oh yeah?
I mean, it's dark, but it's interesting.
Well, I can make it brighter. Hang on, let me just make it a little bit brighter.
Like, I like that soft blue glow in the background.
Alright, let's see if that helps. That's a little bit better, it looks like.
Yeah, that looks good.
Alright.
I like the Godzilla in the background.
Yeah.
So did you tweet?
I didn't. Will you tweet and I'll retweet it and everything? Tweet it from the official account and everything?
Yeah, let me see. I might have trouble, because I've only got that on my phone, so I might have trouble attaching the image.
I don't know. I don't have to tell you.
Let me see. Send the Dropbox.
Eventually, I'll be able to mess around with the 60 frames per second. Because I know that they're doing 60 frames per second streams now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think, don't you have to have like doesn't your audience have to be like so much to
Oh, maybe. I guess that makes sense.
like, I know that like AGDQ and stuff, you know.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I gotta realize I have my foot's like my severed foot is. I guess like that's not. I'm not used to this kind of stuff.
I mean, the way I've got my camera set up, like it's pretty close to my head because it's just hanging off my monitor.
Yeah, I mean I could put it over here, but I kind of like the idea of it being right there. Like I think it kind of works pretty well.
Okay, I was able to get the
Oh, excellent.
from the Dropbox.
So hopefully I'm not too awful at this. It's important to remember that I captured all my footage for this, like, I want to say it was like October.
Really?
For this episode, yeah.
So you were thinking about this particular episode that far back?
I was thinking about, yeah, like the subject of it, yes, but I just didn't have like something, like a hook, really.
Uh-huh.
Like I knew I wanted to like kind of talk about both games. It wasn't until like I had just spent so much time watching that one show with my daughter that made me remember about it.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully it's I mean, I have both Mickey Mouse games out, and I have Quackshot, since there's a lot of people talking about how they couldn't believe that I didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
I really want to see it because, like, I mean, it's just a game I've heard people talk about, but I don't know much about. And you see it pretty commonly in the stores, and I just haven't really known if I want to get.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it for a while. It's just important to remember that I think that when it came out, I was expecting something similar to Castle of Illusion, and I think I was kind of disappointed because of that. And I finished it then, like that first Christmas when it came out, but I haven't played it since, even though I do own it. But I've only owned it for, I want to say, like a year now. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and begin.
All right, sorry it took me a little while. I think I just did the tweet. I really need to get that account set up on my computer. So it's more convenient to use.
Yeah, that's no problem. So unlike you like to use B for jump and A to shoot, right?
On Genesis, yes.
Which is weird because I've always been a C jump, B attack, and then A, like whatever the special attack is.
Well, I can't remember. If, I mean, the first Genesis game that I played after I got my own system was Rondo of Blood. And I can't remember if it was the default in that or not. But I was like,
not Rondo of Blood, you mean?
Yeah, Bloodlines.
Right.
Bloodlines. It just made so much sense to me because, like the jump is the button that you're going to be using the most. So that you kind of want that to be like your home position in my mind.
Right.
And then, shoot is always to the left of jump.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it. Like, I think that I've messed around with it a little bit more recently, and I can see, like, where that's coming from, like, what they were trying to achieve by doing that.
Right. Like I said, I can't remember if that was the default in that game, but that was the first one I played when I got my Genesis, and it's kind of stuck with me since. So whenever there's the option to change, I always do. And I don't think I've run across a game where the controls cause any particular issues. But one thing, I'm relatively new to the whole Sega console thing, and one thing I haven't really figured out is like what is confirm and what is cancel. Like, is there a consistent thing for that? Like, I found that start button is confirmed a lot of the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So one thing I've noticed about this is like kind of like looking at different things. The jump sound effect in this is like one of those sound effects that you can, like, if you see the game emulated, never sounds right.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I just got flat. I forgot. Yeah, there's a couple of different sound effects that I always notice that when they're emulated sound like off every time. And the one of them is the jump sound in this. Another one is when you pass the like the signpost at the end of a level in Sonic. Never sounds right unless it's like, always sounds bad on emulated, when it's emulated. Even like on Virtual Console, it sounds bad. Of course, this never came out on Virtual Console, but...
It didn't, huh?
No, this didn't.
Yeah, I guess there's probably too much licensing crap, but it's still got a remake.
Yeah, which is really surprising.
Like, I thought, like, from the demo I played, I thought it seemed pretty good.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was very odd that they even made it.
Yeah. I mean, why not just make another Mickey Mouse game? I mean, and they did. They made a direct sequel to this on was it the DS or the 3DS?
Oh, on the, it was the Epic Mickey. Was it on the DS? I think it was just on the DS. Like
no, it wasn't Epic Mickey. It was...
No, it was Epic Mickey, like, something of Illusion. But it was like a kind of pseudo-sequel.
Right. Like, it was... I think it was made by the same people that did Henry Hatsworth and Monster Tale.
Right. but they had to, they did something where you have to like constantly draw things on the bottom of the screen that like kind of ruined the whole thing.
Now, the thing that's always kind of struck me about this game, and there was a demo of that one available, and you know, they were trying to be really faithful to how this game played. The slow movement and floaty jump, just... I feel if I put more time into the game, I would probably be more receptive to that, but on an initial impression, it kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I've just never had a problem with it. Mm-hmm. So one thing I thought, like, there's a line that I cut, is like how similar this first boss, like, makes me really think of the first boss. It's like in like most Kirby games.
Like Wispy Woods, you mean?
Yeah. It just makes me think of that for some reason.
Oh, I mean, the screen layout is like identical. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this game I think came before Kirby's Dream Land.
Yeah, because Dreamland was 92, and this was 90.
No, I thought this was more like 89, but... Really? Dreamland was that late? 92? I figured it'd be more like 91.
Hang on 1 second. Let me just retweet this real quick.
I don't even know what year, I don't even know what year Adventure was. Well, I mean, I know it was late NES, but like I would put it like 93.
I could see that, yeah.
That'd be surprising though, like really late. Let me look this up. I need to know now. Wow, you're right. It's 92.
Yeah, I had like a little section where I cut out of the video about that because you know, like it seems very similar, but it didn't seem similar enough to like kind of warrant it.
Oh,
I
so
guess.
Kirby's Adventure came out like less than a year after Kirby's Dream Land, and it's like crazy, like how much it's expanded upon, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, I can't believe that they were released that close to each other. Like, there must have been some, like, overlap in the development teams, or... I mean, I know it was all HAL. I don't know how much capacity they had at the time, but that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think so. But, I mean, I actually didn't play any Kirby games until... The first Kirby game I played was Nightmare in Dreamland on the Game Boy Advance.
That's a good one to start with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a remake of the first one, so it makes
Well,
sense.
it's a remake...
Of
no,
not the first one, of the first NES of Adventure.
Yeah, the first concept. I still need to get my hands on Squeak Squad and Air Ride so I can do my like series complete video that I want to do.
That's a lot of episodes, or a lot of games to cover.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like.
We don't need to get it too into
one like in depth, but like I feel like that's a good way to like touch on Kirby. It just kind of generally.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't know if, like, I mean, I love the games, but I have no idea if I have much of anything in depth to say about them.
You never know. Sometimes you.
But I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking a more in-depth look at a game that we lightly touched on before.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It's eventually going to become inevitable that we like reference games that we've like covered more in depth or haven't covered enough. Like it's just what's going to happen.
I mean, you know, Castle of Illusion has kind of been heavily featured on our channel before.
That's true. That's true.
Different version though.
Yeah. It was fun to be able to reference that.
Yeah.
Considering that was the second video we ever did. And
Yeah,
like my
wow.
first video.
Yeah? There's a lot of history here. First video and then our first... Wow, look at that little secret you just found.
Yeah.
Probably like 30 seconds ago, though. But, yeah, like, this is our first little stream thing.
Yeah.
You've streamed on the channel before, but, like, we're making this a regular thing now.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, I was thinking about, like, how eventually we're gonna, like, if we're doing this every week, or whenever we have new episodes out, eventually, like, when we do, like, an RGB episode, like, we're just going to be, like, covering, like, we'll play, like, a bunch of games from one system, from the system that the episode was on.
Right. Other things, I don't know, but, I mean, you know, we'll come up with something.
Right. It's a fun way to spend a Sunday night, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be a constant, like, I want to get it, like, everything as streamlined as I can, because it's, like, down to the wire, like, getting my kids to bed. It was literally, like 8:50 is, like, when they were eventually asleep. So this zero gravity thing you're about to see, that was, like, huge when it first... Like, the way it changes, like, the gameplay and stuff, I hadn't really seen anything like it.
Well, Mega Man had done... Well, no, Mega Man 5 probably came out after this.
I don't know.
I bet it did. Let me check. I bet Mega Man 5's like 91, 92.
Oh, hey, Coury.
Yep, 92.
So this really was doing, like, a lot at the time.
Wait, is this chat room?
Is the chat room dead?
Chatting? Yeah, the chat room.
Well, well, Coury's here, but, like, that's... Like, she says she feels very alone. But there's 7 people watching. So it's...
Well, but there hasn't been any chatter in the... So I wasn't sure if anyone was talking.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should refresh. I haven't used the chat room on Twitch in forever. Yeah. I don't even know how to log in right now, so... I was gonna log in so I could use the chat room, but oh well. I'll need to reset my password. Now I see people in the chat room, but I just don't see anything actually being chatted. Yeah, Mega Man 5 is 92. I mean, that's one of the only, maybe not one of the only, but definitely one of the first instances of that kind of concept that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything. Well, I guess, like, in Strider, you're walking, like, on the ceiling. There we go. So every level, you're supposed to collect these gems, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's got to be a bunch of stuff that was, like, cut out of this game, because you get one after you beat every boss, and then about, like, the 4th level, you start getting 2 per level.
Did they try to expand on that in the remake, or...?
No, I mean, the remake is pretty close. It just, like, changes certain things up by switching, like, from 2D to 3D. So this is definitely my favorite level in the whole game, just because I love how these clouds look. I'm a big fan of scrolling, like parallax scrolling clouds in games. I mean, even though this is not, like, it's just only one layer, I love Like it just like gives it such a sense of size.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I saw Parallax. Well, actually, the first Parallax I ever saw was probably Kirby's Dream Land, which has a little bit in the cutscene as you're going toward DDD's castle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was probably the first time I'd ever seen anything like that, but the first time I'd ever seen it in gameplay was probably like Super Mario World or whatever was my first Super Nintendo. But I mean, I just didn't have a lot of play experience with the Super Nintendo for a long time. So I didn't get mine until '94, but like when I actually got mine and like every game had Parallax, I was like, whoa! Like, to me, that looked 3D, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like, that was 3D gaming in my mind. Just had to have an extra background layer, moving at a different pace in the foreground, and you were in 3D, man.
Okay. I was trying to, like, apparently... Oh, come on. Interesting that those fish die as soon as I hit the water.
Oh yeah, Stunt Race FX. That was probably my first polygonal game, though. Like, I didn't really think of it as 3D at the time, though. I don't think. Like, I mean, yeah, it was 3D, but like, I don't know how to describe it, but like, the fact that something was made out of polygons was never like special in and of itself in my mind.
So there's another section that I cut out of this. I'm gonna die, I think. I don't understand. This is the first game that I ever saw that had a close to the edge animation. Which was very much like, obviously, like popularized in like Sonic and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, as far as I know, the Genesis is like the.
I think that I took a wrong turn here.
If the Genesis didn't start that, they certainly, I would guess, popularized it.
Yeah. Well, it was that and like, I'm gonna kill myself because I don't know where I'm going. That and like the standing around that Sonic was known for, like you stay there for a long time.
Yeah. Like the fact, like, I remember, like, probably the first game that I played where, it might have been like Donkey Kong Country, really. Like, I mean, I'd played a little Sonic, but not a lot. But, like Donkey Kong Country, like, obviously, you know, that's kind of jumping into the deep end in terms of like animation, because there's like so many frames of animation.
Right.
You know, I'd gone from, you know, totally static characters. Like, that was one of the games that I got with my Super Nintendo. And so I went from totally static characters to, you know, characters that had a lot of frames of animation when they're standing still, and they had close to the edge animations. Like, it was crazy.
I'm like having such a hard time, like finding my way. Jeez.
So do you like have to hold down or something to butt stomp, or is it just?
No, you got to press jump again.
Oh, so it's. See, that's something that always made Genesis games difficult for me. Is because like there's never like some just simple jump on the head mechanic that I was used to.
See,
you know?
That's interesting because like if that gives you a problem, like I always wanted it to be like that, which is weird when you think about it. But I remember like with Sonic, like it was hard for me to like remember that he just like attacks and when he jumps.
But
like I wanted to like hit, I wanted to like have to hit the button again. Come on, I just like, can't get through here.
Well, it's true that Sonic kind of does, but like I feel like there's not the consistency in how Sonic works compared to like how Mario works.
Yeah, well, Sonic just kind of like plows through it.
Yeah, like Sonic's mechanics and the rules of when he will actually hurt an enemy and when the enemy will hurt you, like, have never been super clear in my mind.
Wait, what was that?
The rules of when Sonic will hurt an enemy and when an enemy will hurt Sonic, that's never been super clear.
Oh, interesting. Like, I never thought about it.
I don't know, like, I don't know, the language, the visual language of Sonic is a bit difficult for me.
Yeah. But I mean, then again, like, I've not played, I played all the Sonics, but I only, like, truly loved the first one. I played the first one, like, countless times.
I definitely like the first one the best.
Oh, God. Yeah, the first one's the best. It has the best soundtrack, and I mean, I think a lot of people will disagree with that.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, Sonic's all about going fast and everything. I don't believe that they thought about the speed of it being, like, the primary aspect of the first game that they did later on.
Well, I mean, his name was Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, it was about going fast, but I don't think that it was, like, as huge of a focus as it would later
Like,
become.
they were just making a platformer, and the character happened to be pretty fast.
Right.
And in that way, I feel like Sonic 1 doesn't utilize the character as well as other Sonic games, but at the same time, I still think it's a better game. Or at least more my style.
Huh. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, like, there's just, like, a lot of stuff about the first one that I really...
Like, I mean, like, you know, the second world, like, was it Marble Zone or whatever?
Right.
Like, you know, you've got, like, all of that box pushing, and there's always things that he's, like, you know, coming up against that are slowing you down, and, you know, like, that kind of goes against what Sonic could be, or what we expect Sonic to be, but at the same time, like, it just ended up being more of my style of platformer, even if it wasn't, like, super in the style of what we expect of the character.
Right. Yes, I agree. But I think that, like, it being, like, all about... Because out of all the levels in the first Sonic, the only one you really go fast on is, like, the Starlight Zone. Like, but it's not even that fast. Like, no levels in the first one you go, like, super fast that you would in later games.
Right. The thing that really amazes me, though, about Sonic level design is, like, just how vertical they are. And
yeah.
I don't know, like, the difference in, you know, level design between the first game and the later games, but, like, I mean, maybe 2 and 3 are, like, way more vertical. Well, like, it's just, I mean, you can go high, you can go low, you can go in the middle, and somehow they all lead to the exit. And it's kind of amazing how complex they are.
Down here. I like that they call lives tries in this one. It's one of those things that...
It's kind of weird to me to see a Disney game of this era that is not developed by Capcom.
Yeah.
Did you have any experience with Disney games prior to this?
I mean, the occasional, like, Capcom game, yeah. But not...
I mean, was there much of anything Disney-related on systems other than the NES? Before this? I assume this version came before the Master Quest, or not Master Quest.
The Master System version?
Master System version.
Yeah, I think the Master System version was only like a couple months after this.
I mean, it looked like a pretty good game.
Oh, yeah. You know what? That was one of the games that I got from I mean, I don't even know if I've ever even told you about like my Master System, like how I stole it to a friend.
Oh, I didn't know that you were without your Master System at some point.
Oh, for a long time. I sold it to a friend when I got my Genesis with the power-based converter. And
oh, so real long time ago.
yeah, and then he had it for several years, you know, like, and got a bunch of games for it. And then when my first year of college or something like that, he sold it all to me back.
So it's like you gained interest on your Master System.
Yeah,
You
plus
got games,
all the games. And the
all
thing
the
is,
games plus more.
yeah, all for $50.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, at the time, it was like not even a thing. But like, yeah, that's why I think it's so cool that I got my original system back.
Yeah,
because if I didn't have my original system, I don't think that I would even bother with the system. Like I would just go power-based converter.
I mean, it's a neat looking system, but like I just feel like I can't justify it really. Like I don't have a power-based converter either, but like I just don't know that much I want to play. I'm sure there is more than I realize, but like I mean, I've already played. I kind of want to get a copy. I should get a copy of Phantasy Star.
Yeah, I mean, just
I don't think it's like outrageously expensive. Or
see
anything.
that you'll see it in a second. I'm about to get a gem like in the middle of the level, which is kind of weird.
Do you have to get the gems?
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole plot, is you're picking up the gems so you can make a rainbow outside of the castle.
Oh, okay, so you get to the exit and you get it.
Yeah, without fighting a boss or anything.
So, like, how far into the game are you? It seems like you're making good time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's one more level after this one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like this whole level. Oh, jeez. And then it's like the castle, and then it's like, that's it. If I stay on a roll, I might be able to beat both games.
Wow, that would be crazy.
Both of them are like fairly short and not very hard.
Really, like see, when I played Great Circus Mystery, which I guess that's Magical Quest 2, I guess, right?
Yeah.
See, when I played it, I didn't realize that it was like part of a series of its own.
Oh yeah. I don't know if there's continues in this though. So
like,
if there's no continues, then I'll be in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, if there's no continues, then it's like there's no way I'm gonna beat it.
Yeah. So, like, I was playing Magical Quest during a backloggery marathon, and most of it was playing it very late. And I was tired and loopy, and I thought it was kind of hard toward the end, but actually the power went out when we were in like the last level.
Are you serious? How did that happen?
Yeah.
Was there like a storm? Or something?
I don't think there was a storm. I think the power just went out. This was during the marathon last summer. And but I think we used, I think there was a level select code that we used to go just back to the last level.
Okay, so there is 3 continues. Or there's 2 continues. Yeah, I never played the second Magical Quest, so I can't even tell you anything about it.
I don't remember much about like what the abilities were. So why does it? Oh, that's a lamp switch.
Yeah.
It's like why is the background change? But yeah. Great Circus Mystery. I honestly can't even remember. Like I remember the whole costume mechanic, but I don't even remember what they were.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. Like, I've never actually even seen the game in action.
I was like, you know, your videos always make me want to play the games they're in. So I was looking on eBay, and there are not very many listings for the third game.
For the Japanese version?
Yeah, for the Japanese version, because that's the only way you can get it other than the GBA version.
Right.
And there were not very many listings. There was one that had all 3 Japanese versions for $60. But that kind of doesn't seem right because, like, the US versions of Magical Quest 1 and 2 are, like, really cheap. They're like $12 or $15.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think I'm going to keep an eye out for it. If I see it, I think I'll get it. Because like I remember, like I say, I was really tired when I played the second game, and I thought it was all right, but like now that I see there's like a lot more to it, like you definitely got me interested. even though you like didn't love it as much as this,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, it's like the Bionic Commando is like which I think is so cool because Bionic Commando was like forgotten for so long.
Yeah, and I thought the boss fights looked really good too.
Yeah, it's like that. It's very similar to like something about it like makes me think of Demon's Crest, kind of like some of the boss fights. I don't know why.
I need to replay Demon's Crest because I do not remember that game very well at all.
I
remember almost nothing about it. I mean, I remember liking it. I just remember very little about it.
You got the whole trilogy now. You should do like a video on it. Now that you have them all 3 of them.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Actually, I'm not going to say that because it would be spoilers for a video.
Ugh. I don't understand. It's like not like this boss is like any of these bosses are like really even that hard. Just sometimes you get.
Yeah, I mean, he looks kind of tough to me. Like he makes me think of the dragon in Zelda 2, like the second or third to last dungeon. I think it's the second to last dungeon boss. There's this dragon that comes out of gaps between small platforms.
Huh.
And I think there's a pretty easy way to, cheese him if you want, but I kind of forget what that is. Like, I mean, he's tough. Like, but if you get in the right spot, like, you can just like stab him a bunch of times. So is this the second to last boss?
There's 2 more. Like there's the last level, like there's one more boss after this, and then there's the last level is just the last boss. Huh. Use another continue. Jeez.
Oof.
Well, maybe I won't beat it. Who knows? Not that it matters, but
It's worth trying.
Yep.
I always hate it when you don't have a 0th life.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my first experience was,
I didn't even hit him that one time.
ending on 1 life because my first game was Mario 1. And so that kind of set my expectations for a while, but then I was like, you know what, this whole 0th life thing really makes sense.
Well, it's nice that you have that buffer.
Right, well, it's
a mental thing.
Right, like, the number should represent how many are in reserve, rather than which one you're on.
That's true.
Like, it just makes sense.
Uh-oh.
I wonder what the first game with a zeroth life was. That's just what I've always called it.
Zeroth.
The zeroth life.
I'm just trying to beat this stupid boss. I always thought this one was like the easiest one in the game. One more hit, come on. There we go. I'm a very strong mouse. In the background, you can kind of see the window of my computer. But eventually, like, I was thinking if I could get like a really super cheap monitor, I could just like mount it to the wall, like over there, where I can just like do everything. It's like super unnecessary, but if this like actually like people start coming to this kind of stuff, then I think it would be worth it.
Make a studio.
Yeah. Well, my other room already has one like on the wall, mounted, but.
So I think my chat room stops refreshing after a while.
Yeah, mine looks like it stopped too.
I mean, maybe people just aren't talking, but it was a pretty long time since the last message.
Yeah. I got people. I have to put my thing on Do Not Disturb. I forgot to put my. You can probably hear my Skype little thing coming through.
No, I haven't heard yours. Well, maybe you do on the stream.
Well, you can on the stream, yeah.
Yeah, I was being added on Twitter, and you probably heard that.
Oh no, I didn't hear that at all, actually. Is that not where I'm supposed to go? Uh-oh, is that it? Or do I got one more? Nope, game over.
Oh man,
That's all right.
do you remember? Do you remember when you were capturing footage? Do you remember if it took more than one try?
It took me a couple tries, yeah. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna change games.
Okay. Whoa, that is a weird looking mallow. It's a beheaded mallow. Please wait.
All right. Oh, hang on one second.
Don't be like me and forget to take the please wait off when you're ready.
All right, sorry about that. I was just put my thing on my Skype on Do Not Disturb. All right. we're back. There we go. So you can see me like looking behind myself.
Yeah, it used to be that way for me because I had my monitor like that I was using for the stream for a long time, like in the opposite direction of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, if I could find like a really tiny 1080p monitor,
Mm-hmm.
if I could find something for like $80, like, I think it'd be worth it. All right.
The Magical Quest.
Yep.
Is that what it actually says on the game cartridge? The Magical Quest?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know. All right. I gotta admit, I think that I played through this one on easy to get the footage. So let's see if it's still pretty tough here.
Did you play this one recently?
No, I played this one like the day after the other one.
Oh, so you like were going to do... So I thought you were just like the original idea was just Castle of Illusion, then you kind of lumped these two together later.
Nope. I went into it with the intention of it like months ago. Like it was like October, I think.
Here comes the bitch, Mickey.
What I think is really funny is, you know, for the video, like I just like chopped up this intro. Like he talks for so long and you just like cut it, you know? You find the frame of animation that you can like cut it where it doesn't look like,
yeah,
where it looks like natural progression.
Right.
I didn't include this map screen at all in the video, and I don't know why. I just couldn't find a place for it. I'm a big fan of like map screens, like Dr. Wily's Castle, like having map screens with like the little dots you're moving in between.
Yeah. I love a good map screen. That looks very similar to the one that, as far as I remember it, looking in Great Circus Mystery.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Then if it was. See, I think what is probably cool about the sequels and stuff is the co-op.
Yeah. Oh, so this one doesn't have co-op.
No.
The little flying fruit thing is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Like, is that like sort of a gimmick for this level? Does that really come back?
No, it doesn't come back after this level. There's like these blocks you can throw. I put it on Do Not Disturb, but apparently it still makes noise. I don't know why. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can... Hang on. I'm not going to move it from this spot. I just need to find a way to turn off that audio.
You just turn off Skype sounds, I think, if there's an option for that.
Yeah.
How did you do, what is that, what kind of file is that static on the please wait screen?
Okay. You know what? It was because I must have accidentally sent it back to available. So I think Do Not Disturb, okay.
What kind of file is the static behind My Life in Gaming?
Oh, that's just a, it's just an animated GIF.
Ah.
It should be in our share folder. This guy just keeps on talking.
a profile, a nice profile description. I don't know much about making a nice Twitch page, because I've always just streamed on the backlogger, and it doesn't really matter if we use Twitch or Hitbox. We have our own chat room and stuff. But
Or people talking about like what?
like actually setting up our Twitch page. Like you've streamed before, like while capturing footage and stuff. But we're making this a regular thing now. We're going every Sunday after we release an episode. We're going to do a little stream at 9 o'clock. We're featuring the games that are in the episode or related games.
Right. And just to kind of talk about it, and just cover like little things that, like talk about the things that we may have cut out of the episode or something like that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I always like end up like cutting a bunch out.
Oh yeah, like almost always. Like there's probably no episode, maybe one episode where I actually keep everything I recorded. Like in terms of my audio.
Right.
Like the one that I've been working on this weekend, like I cut out a bunch of things. It's like when you're writing it, you're like, oh, I really want to say this. And then when you're editing it, you're like, who cares?
Right. Exactly. And even with this one, I actually went back in and re-recorded a ton of different lines.
See, it's weird. Like, for me, I usually find, like, you would expect that if you're cutting something out, then some of your other lines wouldn't work so well. But in most cases, I find that it's pretty easy to cut something out and still, it still flows right with your existing audio.
Right.
Like, in most cases.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have, like, the super consistent setup that you have either, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that... with this one, I even cut, like, a lot of different lines, and I like it when you can cut sound bites and make a sound bite that makes total sense just by, like, piecing together, like, several of them.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I've, like, cheated the system or something.
Yeah. Like, this first, like, mini-boss of this level makes me think of something out of Demon's Crest. Like, it's like the same pattern practically as like this one. As like the first boss or something in Demon's Crest.
I mean, it was a Capcom game. Those little things that he sends out.
Yeah.
They're so ridiculous looking.
I think I remember having a hard time with this boss because he takes so many hits. Oh, this is... check it out. Like, you die on that boss, it sends you all the way back to the beginning of the area.
No way.
There's no checkpoints.
That entire level?
No, I mean...
one. It's broken up into 1, 2.
I just fell to my doom.
But you... Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So, because it looks like, if you were playing Castle of Illusion, by number of tries that you have left, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
But you've got a 0th try.
Yep.
That's good. I'm pretty sure the sprite style was like totally different in the second game.
Probably a completely different team. It just seems like it was probably a different team.
I mean, the Mickey Mouse game I grew up with, but I didn't really play it much, was Mickey Mousecapade on the NES, which was a terrible game.
Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
I've never played it, but I know that it's supposed to be really bad.
Yeah. Like, I owned it, and I just had absolutely no idea how to play it. But, you know, I've mused over the idea of getting the last NES games that I owned in my original collection.
And that's one of them?
And that's one of them. And, like, that... Like, I was receptive to the idea of beating that game.
You were at a point, but now you're not anymore.
No. Well, here's the thing. I mean, if I buy those games, I have to be willing to beat them.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, oh, that wasn't the end of the level.
No, that was just the first boss, or the first mini boss.
But you know, I'd have to be willing to beat it.
Right.
And so, I was like, you know, I was thinking, well, you know, the only NES games that I owned that I didn't beat, or that I haven't rebought, are Mickey Mousecapade and Where's Waldo. I beat Where's Waldo back in the day. I mean, it's not a good game, but I mean, I did beat it. I distinctly remember beating it. But I know I never beat Mousecapade. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'll get Where's Waldo and Mickey Mousecapade, and then I'll own all the games I owned back in the day. And then, a while later, before I bought them, I was like, oh wait, I also owned Ghostbusters. So that just like completely... Now I have no interest in owning Mousecapade, because why would I get Mousecapade if there would still be this hole in my original collection? There's no way. I refuse to attempt to beat Ghostbusters. Because apparently... Wow, that is a weird looking snake.
That's kind of creepy.
But the Ghostbusters, from what I've heard, you know, it apparently is like really easy to grind for lives while you're climbing the Tower of Zool.
Really?
But once you get to Zool, if you die, not just game over, if you die, apparently you're back at the beginning again.
Wow.
Like, forget it!
I'm gonna die.
Like, I wouldn't mind grinding for lives if... Man, this boss looks intense.
Oh, you know what? I think continue to send me all the way back to the beginning of the...
Oh, no.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, no. It sends me back to the beginning of the area.
That's
It's
not...
fine. Yeah. Oh, it sends me right to the boss.
Well, what's the point of lives, then, in the areas?
I don't
The
know.
division areas. Weird. And then, it was the weirdest thing, I can't remember exactly where it was, but I saw a picture of some NES games a couple weeks ago. And I remembered that, I owned Jeopardy for the NES. It was more my dad's game. You know, like, back then, you know, there was the idea that, you know, my dad would have a few games too, even though he didn't really play it, you know?
Yeah, it was more like, we'll just get you a game that we can... Like,
Yeah.
it's just a way of getting an excuse to get another game.
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't for me. Like, I mean, it was like, legit, like, hey, my dad might like to play this sometime, you know? Like, I guess the NES wasn't, like, so much thought of as being, like, my NES. It was, like, our family's NES, even though I was the only one that really played it. But, we also got Tetris, like for my dad, because that was kind of one of those games where, you know, that was like people's parents played Tetris.
Right.
Though I don't think he really played it much, but that was how we got it. And I had never played it before until I got NES version. So that map screen, that's kind of like Castlevania, where it like shows you the path from where you are to the end.
Right.
Which is kind of weird, but it's an interesting idea.
Especially since it's not that long of a game, really.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. I thought that on normal you only had 3 hit points, but you pick up things that increase your how many hearts you have.
Mm.
So I got my first costume.
I feel like there's kind of a bit more of a logic to how to how you get the costumes in Circus Mystery.
Whoa. That's like a one-hit kill right there.
I wish I could remember what the costumes were, though.
Skype is making noise again. I think that maybe I...
That fish!
I know, it's like a one-hit kill, too. See, Skype is making noise. So I guess the Do Not Disturb does not mute noises.
Weird. That's weird, though, because because I don't get, when I stream, I don't get Skype sounds from chats and stuff.
There might be a way to turn it off. Maybe
I must have turned it off somehow. I know it was a problem at one point. Let me check what I've got. Sounds.
So you see these leaves, and I just missed my jump. You know, like that's another thing that's like taken very much from Castle of Illusion. There's like that level with the leaves.
Oh yeah.
I just have a hard time believing that they weren't inspired by it just a little bit.
Oh, they had to. That's so sort of strange though, because you would think that like Capcom like kind of knows what they're doing when it comes to Disney games, you know?
Right. Okay, so I just found another heart point. Cool. So I guess you can like pick up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, are you sure you didn't ever know that?
I don't think so.
Wow. Now, is this a game that you've owned since back in the day, or?
Oh no! You know what? It was like a rebuy. Not recently, but I want to say like maybe about 5 years ago I rebought it.
Are any of your Super Nintendo games original ownership?
Oh yeah, I have a ton of my original Super. Jeez, that fish killed me again. Yeah, I mean, like I kept a lot of my really important ones for me. You know, like I still have my original like Final Fantasy 3, Chrono Trigger, like all the really high priced ones that I have are like my original.
Mm-hmm. I think I mean I've got a bunch of my original Super Nintendo. I mean because I never sold my Super Nintendo games, but I've got a lot of games that I am the original owner of for Super Nintendo, but probably more used games. But NES, I mean none of them except probably Rescue Rangers. is my original copy, but my cousin had it for a while.
Really? Okay, so like that's like one of the few that you...
That would be my only NES game that is my original ownership.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, because I mean I sold everything, but for some reason,
Gosh, do you ever think about like the thing I like to think about is how much if I had like not sold off anything, like how much money I would have had to buy like other games that I wanted in addition to like what I used to have. Like there's so many things that I like had to rebuy.
but you know, I want to. I always feel bad when I'm at a game store or a convention, and like I kind of just mostly ignore Super Nintendo, like except for like the stuff that they would put behind a case.
Right. Well,
But even then, like there's just not that much that I'm looking for Super Nintendo anymore. But like when I just look like out on the shelves in the commons,
right.
you know, I just like I'll look through NES, I'll look through N64. I won't really look through Super Nintendo because I just don't have that many ideas for what I'm looking for. But
I feel like I pretty much have about 99% of the stuff that I'd ever want for it anyways.
Right. I know this would be just the weirdest thing, but I keep wondering if I might at some point end up with more N64 games than Super Nintendo games.
That'd be crazy. I can't even believe
Like
that
would be a unique scenario, I feel.
Yeah, I can't imagine there being that many N64 games
I mean,
that are worth playing.
I mean, I'm not that far behind in terms of. I mean, they're pretty close in terms of how many I've got. However, like if you count Super Famicom as all part of it, like there's a lot of Super Famicom games I still want to get. Like those aren't games I'm likely to just find in a store. I mean, not necessarily all that likely to find at a convention either. But I mean, like I want to get like most of the unlocalized Square games. I want to get Terranigma and.
I'd get a Super Famicom version of Terranigma just to have.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean you would?
Yes.
I mean, I definitely.
I mean, because like I have my repro that I like and I've played all the way through, but I would like to just have
the real deal.
Yeah.
I want Ys 5.
No 4.
Well, I mean, I've got 4.
My local place had a copy of 4 for $5.
Really?
Yeah, Mask of the Sun.
There was a 5 at Too Many Games last year, and I really regret not getting it now.
Especially now that there's like the translation is out for it.
Oh, was it not at the time?
No. Well, I don't think it was. I think the translation's like a year old now.
Really? I didn't know it was that. I mean, I guess I just like assumed it was translated. Well, like at the time, I didn't have a way to use translation patches, but now that I've got Retrode.
This game definitely like makes use of the scaling and rotation on the on bosses. Like every single boss in this game pretty much has a.
It looks like a decent quality rotate. Decent quality implementation.
I don't know.
How they all look like Pete is so freaking weird, though.
Yeah, well, it's like his ghost comes out of the main bosses every time.
Right.
Oh, that didn't go well.
Those beans are freaking weird.
Yeah, they're pretty screwed up looking.
Yeah.
I think my magic is full. Oh, it does refill your magic. You know, it's interesting because I never thought cartridge games had like load times and stuff on them.
Uh-huh.
But I think that they're so small a lot of times that you don't notice them, but they're definitely there, and or they do like little clever things
Right.
to hide them.
Like yeah, I know what you mean. Like I didn't think of that either, but I've definitely caught things recently. Like I can't think of a specific example, but it's just like the black screen between areas might be longer than you realized it was, you know?
Right.
Little stuff like that. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just that the fact of the matter is they're just not loading much data. And, like, I feel like you know, the fact that, like, PlayStation 4 games, everything is running off of a hard drive rather than reading off the game disc, you expect it to be faster.
Right.
But
it has a lot more to load.
Right, and I guess the fact of the matter is it can only, just because it's loading more data and it can only do it so fast, like the load times have just continued to scale up and up and up. Even if the technology is relatively fast, it's just got to load so much crap. Like, that it's just so different from the amount that...
If you ever get a chance, you should... Street Fighter Alpha 2 on the Super NES has like ridiculous load times before each fight.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It actually stops for like 10 seconds.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think of it, but
that
was like one of those games that like really pushes the system.
Right.
I don't know. Now I'm looking for those doors, but I know that I can get the more life in.
Whoa. It's kind of scary down here.
Oh. I guess I can't hurt him. I don't know how to...
How would you hurt him? Well, he's got a spiky hat.
Oh, he does. Huh, I wonder if it's like not possible to... I wonder if it's not possible to kill him if you run out of magic, which is kind of dumb.
That is really dumb.
Do I gotta do that whole part again? Yep. That's no biggie.
That little hands up slow fall is kind of... I mean, it's a very traditional style of game over, but it's so slow.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
I'll give this one until 10:30 and then I'll pop in Quack Shot.
Sounds like a good idea. Because, yeah, that's what I really want to see. Because, like, I mean, I don't know.
Whoa. Crushed. Yeah, I mean, when did Quackshot came out? Probably 91?
Really? That old, huh?
Yeah, possibly. 91 or 92.
I was actually in the middle of looking up what years the Magical Quest games came out. The first one was 92. The second was 94.
Oh, so there's actually some time. It's not like they just cranked it out as fast as
Yeah,
they could.
and then the last one was late '95, almost '96. What's a quack shot?
You know, a lot of people are really hard, like, and I'm one of them, like, on games that they get, like, weekly or yearly releases.
Mm,
But, I mean, it happened a lot back in the day, too. We just never really thought about it, because I think years just
right.
felt like they were so much longer than they do now.
Yeah, well, and, like, I mean, Donkey Kong Country, those were yearly releases.
Which is crazy when you think about it.
It really is. Like, I mean, I I guess once they got the technology down, it wasn't that big of a deal anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, especially considering they're all like really good. Like the third one is a bit less good, but that's really more subjective. I mean, it's not like for lack of ambition or anything.
Yeah.
Like the second one is easily the best. But like yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
How consistently good they are.
Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't think the third one was very good, but I thought I actually didn't play the second one until I played it on the Virtual Console. And I thought it was extremely, extremely good.
Oh yeah. So Quackshot was released in very late '91.
Okay. So then it was like when I said that Christmas '91. That's when I would have played it then.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because there's a certain point on Wikipedia where you start more reliably getting actual dates associated with game releases.
Right, right.
And it has 91 for Europe, North America, and Japan. It doesn't specify the date for Europe, but it says 91 for all of them. But North America is December 19th, and Japan is December 20th. So we got 1 day early. Actually, if you consider time zones, we got like 12 hours early. But it's weird. Like I've actually found that like looking up release dates a lot lately. Like I found that the long gaps between Japan and North America that I used to think they were, like the gaps are either not that big or North America got it first in a very few circumstances.
Huh. So it's like really like RPGs that they happen.
Right, like it took so long. Like yeah, like I mean I guess like because it was really like N64 PlayStation days where I was like really starting to pay attention to that kind of stuff, and like I think the waits were longer. Or maybe it's just like you said, maybe it just seemed longer because we were younger.
Yeah. I mean, they used to, like, those days used to feel like they were like so much longer than they do now. And years especially so.
I don't know about days, but years definitely. Like
summertime used to feel like it would go on forever.
I still always think of things in like terms of 4 years, because or like in chunks of 4 years. Or I don't know. Well, I mean I don't anymore, but like I think because high school's 4 years, college is 4 years,
right?
And I think about that, and it's like those seemed like such large chunks of my life at the time,
Now it seems like nothing.
Yeah, and it's like 4 years is like nothing now. It's crazy. And like I was actually thinking about that earlier today. I went out to get some lunch earlier today, and I passed by this movie theater, and and they've been like developing this whole they've been developing this whole little area around the movie theater where they've got like, you know, they're opening like a bunch of restaurants and stuff, and they're like making this like nice little center.
Wait, really quick, if you look on the stream, like I really like this detail. Like as the fire gets closer to the water, you can see the reflection of the fire in the water.
Oh, that's awesome! Wow, that's not something you really ever see. That's really cool. But yeah, so I was passing by this and it said opening summer 2012. And I'm like, they better like get moving on removing that sign, because in not too long that sign will have been there for like someone's entire time in high school. Like, isn't that like, you know, like that's what I mean, where I think in terms of chunks like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I would never even think of that.
Like, I would think that that's like a really long time. Like, can you imagine, like, it would become like legendary to like you and your high school friends if you saw a sign that said like opening in 2012 and it was there 4 years later. Like, you would be like, that was there for so long, but I feel like that theater didn't open that long ago.
That's a funny way to think about it, though.
I mean, it's just that, like, no, like, major stage of your life was longer than 5 years. 5 or 6 years, you know, when you were young. You know, elementary school, middle school.
That's a good way to, like, it's a good time.
Yeah,
like
so,
a good time limit to.
Yeah,
like,
it's just that the chunks of your life, I mean, they were clear, in my mind, they were clearly defined. Chunks of your life was, you know, defined by school, and then, you know, ending in college, which was for me 4 years.
Right.
And now that like nothing has really changed that significantly since college, it's like so weird, I think. Like, we're going to have been doing My Life in Gaming for 2 years, not that long.
In October, yeah.
Yeah. Starting our 3rd year, like, I don't know, like, when I really think about it, it's like 4 years of My Life in Gaming doesn't even seem that far away.
No, it's not. Well, we're almost halfway there.
Yeah. I like those fire bats, they look cool. Good old face-in-the-wall bosses.
Yeah. This one's kind of unique in that you have to, like, spray him with enough water to, like, he can, like, get his power back if he's...
Ah.
See, he's, like, trying to... I'm gonna die. It doesn't seem that hard, but it actually kind of is.
Well, I mean, the platforms start moving really fast.
I'm just like, I want to beat this guy because I get the Mountaineer casting right after him.
Ah.
Why do I keep on slipping off there? Jeez.
Like, his last phase seems to take longer than the others. Like that blue color.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I assume that's the last. You have to duck under his mouth?
As far as I know, yeah. There he goes. I could have done it if I just, like, stayed on that side and kept on jumping. I just like thought of like an easy way to beat him, but whatever.
Oh yeah, I see.
So is there just nobody? Is the chat room like not moving again, or is it just nobody's?
I don't know if people are. Hey, if someone's watching, say something. I want to see if my chat is actually working.
You're just used to way more viewers than this.
Well, I mean, backlog read chat gets pretty dead at times too.
So I like that it's Goofy that gives him the outfit too. He's just like, hey, I'm here. I like that he's like off looking for him. Like Pluto's off looking for him, and he's like made it way farther than, or Goofy's like off looking for Pluto, and he's like made it way farther than Mickey has in this entire time.
Gosh, Mickey, I still can't find Pluto.
Climbing britches.
Climbing bridges? Gosh is a pretty good word.
So just to kind of give you an idea of like how close it is.
Like it's a diagonal
Yes.
thing.
Yep. He throws it diagonally.
Goofy like waves backwards while he's walking away.
I mean, for some reason I just think this is so cool because, I mean, Bionic Commando was essentially a dead franchise at the time.
Yeah. And is again.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, when did the Game Boy game come out? Game Boy game came out in '92.
Okay, so I guess it wasn't. Whoa. All right, I'm gonna switch over to Quack Shop. I've seen that. Okay, hang on one second. Ooh. I mean, it's very inspired by Indiana Jones.
So, apparently, the Japanese title is "I Love Donald Duck." It's the Wikipedia says "I love Donald Duck, Garizia o no Hio," and when I copy the Japanese letters and put in Google Translate, it says "Love Donald Duck, Georgia King of Treasures." So it's like, I love Donald Duck, King of Treasures. I don't know what the Georgia is coming from.
Well, it says King Garuzia's Great Duck Treasure. That's the name of the book that he's looking at.
Oh, so it's probably like...
And check out, it's Uncle Scrooge. Uncle Scrooge makes an appearance.
Awesome. So it's I love Donald Duck, King Garuzia, King of... Or King Garuzia... King Garuzia's treasures or something like that, I guess.
That makes sense, I guess.
But
the Great
it's
Duck
like,
Kingdom.
I wonder if like I Love Donald Duck could have become a series.
That's like a great name.
I Love Donald Duck. I just think that's hilarious. You know, of like the core Mickey Mouse cast, like I definitely like Donald the best.
Yeah, you know, like I always used to like Goofy the best.
I would say, I mean, Goofy's up there, but he's definitely after Donald. Like, I think, like, the whole, like, all of the ducks and the whole duck family and stuff, like, those are definitely, like, the most interesting of the Mickey Mouse characters, I think.
Interesting. So you're fighting Pete in this one. So Pete's the bad guy in this one.
Uh-huh.
So I always thought of Pete being like a...
More specifically, Mickey?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who would be a bad guy for Donald, necessarily. I mean... Oh, there's Duckburg. Oh, so Duckburg is in, like... California or Nevada or something.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I like always annoyed me about this is how you can't actually you don't kill the enemies. They just like it just stuns them with your plunger gun. I mean that's a great weapon. Like that's up there like with like some of the best. Like a gun that shoots plungers.
His butt looks so like
big.
Yeah. I mean, that's a unique idea, stunning enemies. And then you can just walk past them?
Yeah.
I like how the first level's Duckburg. That's cool.
So check it out. Okay, so you get to a level and you have to find items. So it's very much like a almost like a you call your airplane and you can go to a different place to find the items to progress in certain levels.
Huh.
So it's very non-linear in that way.
Interesting. So I see you've got a life meter, a lives count, and a temper meter.
Yeah, I don't know where the...
Oh, there's a lot of layers of parallax here.
Yeah. They're not very, like, distinguished very well. What's that?
Ice cream's your health.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like, it's very DuckTales-esque.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting, like, a lot of DuckTales sort of mythology from this, you know? Like, it's more grounded in the DuckTales sort of world than the Mickey Mouse sort of world.
Right. Yeah, I could see that.
Which definitely is a plus in my book. So this is sort of considered a sequel-ish or spiritual
it's the same
successor.
team. Yeah, it's the same team that did it. I mean, the person that directed this and like the other two games, like worked for Disney.
Oh. So they like worked in the Sega offices for a while, presumably.
Right.
Interesting.
Or was like came in to like kind of direct the project while Sega like.
Right. It's kind of weird how like those parallax layers, like it looks like they're just like cut off.
Yeah.
Like that foreground of cacti, that like it looks like they should be taller.
See, the idea of just like stunning enemies, though, it makes it feel like enemies can continue to be threats.
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
I'm pretty sure that there is no continues in this.
Really?
You just get like the lives, yeah. But I think that it's probably one of those things that if you know the order to get everything, you can probably just like blast through it super quick.
What do you mean the order?
Well, for instance, I had to find an item to like climb the wall in Duckburg, so I have to like find it in one of the 2 other places I can visit.
Ah.
So if you know the order that you have to get the items in, or to visit the places to pick up items to go to the next place, you could probably do it like really quick.
Right.
What's kind of interesting though is if you look at the kind of taking it back to DuckTales, like, oh, I want that chicken. There we go.
So wait, Donald eats chicken to recover his health?
He just ate it was like a full like turkey kind of, like a chicken kind of thing.
I mean, I feel like
a rotisserie chicken.
I feel like a duck eating chicken just doesn't feel quite right.
No, that's kind of screwed up.
I mean, this looks pretty good. Like, lately I've kind of been at a loss for where to go next on Genesis.
Wait, what was that?
Lately I've kind of been at a loss as to where to go next with the Genesis.
On like what games to get?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should get this.
Maybe I should.
What I think is really interesting, kind of taking it back to DuckTales, though, is that I just went to Transylvania, like that was like a level.
Yeah.
Whoa! I guess the water is one hit kill.
Wasn't there a Donald Duck game on Master System that is pretty good?
There was, I can't think of what it was called. It was like Going Quackers or something like that. It was like something that sounded like
well, there was a game called Going Quackers on like N64, like Ubisoft made.
Oh, you know what? That's probably it.
But I'm pretty sure there's like a Masters, like I wouldn't think I saw it on like a GameSack episode or something. Like,
yeah, I bet you there is.
And it might have been like a European only thing or something.
Yeah, I mean, by this time, like the Master System was like long gone.
Like I remember the game looked pretty good. Yeah, I think it was on like the GameSack Sega Master System episode.
Okay, so do I gotta go back to Duckburg?
So you finished this before, I guess, right?
I finished it right around the Christmas that came out. I don't remember anything about it.
So after you finish these 3 levels, then you'll get access to like more, I guess.
Right. So this person was asking for the hero key, so I went back to Duckburg, got the hero key from that character. Like, in a way, it's kind of like, makes you think of a lot of, like, NES games. I don't know, like, why it makes me think of it, like, and that you have to, like, get items from other places to move on to.
Yeah, I can't think of an example off the top of my head. Like, I mean,
like
it's not like
Strider is very much like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Metroidvania exactly, but.
I can't decide if the chat is dead or nobody's just talking. I don't know. It's hard to. It's still the same.
Yeah, I'm not going to refresh it anymore, so I can see what happens. I need to get my remember what my login is, or whatever. I definitely like that attack mechanic. It's unique.
The plunger gun?
Yeah.
And you get like other guns later on, like that shoot different colored plungers. Like you can jump on them, like they stick to the wall, and you can like jump on them, like create platforms
cool.
out of them.
Oh, like what is it? Item 2? Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly like that.
I want to know what the temper meter does.
Yeah, seriously, why is it not?
Like, is it good? Is it bad?
I forgot.
Is it like Berserk mode?
I want to know why I'm collecting all this corn.
Does it not recover health?
No.
That's a good slide.
Yeah, I forgot it was even there.
So what are the controls? Like, what's the button?
C is jump, B is shoot, and A does a dash. It just makes it go like this. That doesn't even seem like you go very fast.
Oh. So you go through those when you plunge them, but you can also stand on top.
Right.
But you can't stand on top of normal enemies, right?
Right.
Just like these blocks.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if there are other types of enemies that you can stand on. I think you have to hit that top one when it's lower.
I did. You'll see it in a second. Oh, it's Goofy. He says, "Gosh, Donald." This funny plunger thing.
That's a weird-looking Goofy, I think. Like, his proportions are just weird.
Do I gotta go all the way back there? Ugh, I always hated stuff like this. When you go all the way through and then you have to like go backwards the whole area to get back outside. When it doesn't just like warp you out.
I really like the box art for this game. Like, Donald's got this super intense expression on his face.
But it's very much like it's Indiana Jones themed, you know?
Oh, yeah.
The same like font and stuff.
So this is only like $18 complete.
Oh, that's not bad at all. You gonna get it?
I mean, I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I kind of want to, like, I'm not gonna, like, buy any games until too many games.
Right. Yeah, I'll try to avoid it.
Well, you've been doing pretty good, I think, lately, considering the, how crazy things were for you for a while there.
Let me check what was the last bunch of games I bought. Like, there was a few weeks where I was like looking at games like every weekend for a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Oh, I ordered a bunch of Famicom Disk System games. Those came like 2 weeks ago. And just before that, I got Toe Jam and Earl and Streets of Rage.
Oh, you own them now?
Yeah, well, Paladin from the backloggery.
I thought he just sent them to you, or did he give them to
He
you?
found an extra copy of Streets of Rage, and sent it to me. He said I could keep it.
Is it complete in box?
No, it's just a card.
Oh, okay.
But he was sending it to stream, but he said I could keep it if I wanted.
Awesome.
And I liked it, so I kept it.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's probably an unpopular opinion, but I like the first one more, and I like the second one.
I mean, the second is definitely the one people talk about.
Yeah.
I liked it. Like, I'm not like a big brawler person, but it's very just easy to get into. I feel like the mechanics work well. Like, grabbing is not like complicated or anything. Like, it's straightforward, but I feel like I was able to do like fun things, you know?
Right.
Like, without getting like needlessly like combo-y or anything like that. But yeah, I liked it. I'll definitely keep an eye out for the second game. I guess that's another Genesis game I'll think about. Oh, actually, I think Drum might have just bought Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was at the store. He was texting me, and he was saying he was tempted to get Streets of Rage 2. Because he played Streets of Rage with me and really liked it.
Yeah. Well, Streets of Rage 2 is like, there's way more to it than the first one. But, I don't know, I just really like the simplicity of the first one.
Yeah, I haven't finished Toe Jam and Earl yet, but like it's...
Was that one complete or no?
No, it's just a cart. I think complete's a little expensive. Like, not
well, it's shooting up because they just had that Kickstarter. I just actually noticed that because like Kickstarters actually affect the price. Because I was just looking at, I don't have any of the DS Castlevania games. And I've had them on my Amazon wish list for a super long time. And I was like watching them like hover like right around like $18 each. And then after the Kickstarter was announced, I did that twice. I can't believe I just like died 2 times doing that. And now they're like Dawn of Sorrow is like up like $30.
Wow.
I mean, of course that's brand new, but still.
Yeah. So, but Lynn saw Toe Jam at The Last Word. And
that's
the bookstore.
Right.
And said, hey, weren't you looking for that? And I said, well, I wasn't really looking for it for myself, but it was one of the games that Paladin wanted me to stream. And it was a good price for it. Wow, that's a weird looking gyro. It was a really good price, so I was like, well, you know, if I don't like it, then, you know, we could probably sell it for more money than we got it for, or Paladin seemed potentially interested if I didn't want to keep it. But I played it, and I felt like I couldn't get rid of it because it was just so weird. I mean, it was mostly because me and Drum were playing co-op, but it was just...
It's a really weird game.
Yeah, we just had, like, a good time playing it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I kind of couldn't part with it. So, like, I mean, I feel like we'll be able to, you know, next time we get a chance to play it, I feel like we'll be able to finish it easy enough. I mean, it might take another attempt or two, but like, now we kind of know what we're doing. Yeah, I had absolutely no idea it was a roguelike. Absolutely no idea. Like, I knew it was a game on the Genesis that people like. I knew, like...
Did Drum like it because of that, you think?
The characters. Maybe in part.
He was surprised, like, I'm sure.
No, he knew. But, I was totally surprised. but he knew. But like I think he liked it just because of. I think he just liked the weirdness. Like, I mean, it's obviously not, like, in-depth enough of a roguelike to really, you know, satisfy, like, a big roguelike fan like him.
Right.
Like, even, like, the mystery dungeon games, I think, are a little on the casual side for him. Because those are, like, pretty proper roguelikes. Though, I guess to be a truly proper roguelike, it needs to be, like, ASCII graphics.
Oh, okay, so the popcorn, it shoots like popcorn out of it. It's a gun that...
Oh! You've got like a lot of corns.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot. But I guess it's still a stun though. Or it goes through the ghosts.
I don't know.
So there's no quick select?
No.
So you need the plungers to... Oh, you can stand on those. I thought you didn't start with them being able to do that, right?
Right.
Is that what Goofy gave you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they start off like yellow, right?
Right.
Oh, I like that one up.
Oh, the hat?
Yeah. Have you ever played any Indiana Jones games?
I played the Super Nintendo one.
I have never played any.
You should try. I heard that the Fate of Atlantis is really good.
Is that
That's the point and click.
Okay, yeah, I sort of a weird story about that. At work we acquired a newspaper like a year or so ago, like a little over a year ago. And the previous owners, as they were clearing out, like I saw a boxed copy of Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Just like sitting in one of their boxes in the newspaper office.
Really?
And I was like I was actually kind of under the impression that like they didn't really care about any of their stuff and like it was probably going to be like up for grabs. But then the next time I was there, like they had like significantly cleaned up, so I have no idea what happened to it.
Oh, that's too bad.
Like I should have said something sooner. Like I think I would have said something, but then I think like one of the previous management people came in, so I didn't say anything. 'Cause I was just hoping that like no one would care, and then they would officially be out, and they would still be there.
That's too bad. It would have been really, really cool to have that. Oh, there's no death animation in this. He just gets hit and it fades to black.
I haven't noticed yet. Let's see.
It's kind of disappointing.
That's kind of a weird fade too. It like turns blue first.
I don't know if that was just because I'm underwater here.
No, I don't think I saw it do that before. So you've died a lot of times, but like you haven't game over.
Right, I've gotten a lot of one-ups. I think they're pretty generous with them. That's another thing that makes me think like, oh, there's probably no continues.
But yeah, I never played an Indiana Jones game. Do you remember the N64 Indiana Jones game?
I remember reading about it.
It was developed by
like Infernal Machine or something, right?
Yeah, it was developed by Factor 5.
It's Blockbuster exclusive or something, wasn't it?
That's what it was, or something like that. Like you couldn't just like buy it normally. Like there were very special circumstances to buy it. I want to say I remember hearing that it was good, but like lately I haven't really heard anything good about it.
I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, so what's the Super Nintendo game like? I don't even know what it's called.
It's like all three. It's just like the Adventures of Indiana Jones.
Oh, so it's like a
It's 1, 2, and 3.
It's like Super Star Wars in one game.
Right. Exactly. It uses like the same engine and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I don't. I have it on Virtual Console.
Oh, really? That came out on Virtual Console?
Yeah, all the Super Star Wars did, which is kind of crazy. I wonder if they're still on there. You know, like the Super Star Wars, it's really interesting because they came out, like JVC released them, and then...
JVC.
Yeah, which like I always thought it was like being LucasArts, but it's not. Like, I don't know why I thought of it. Like, oh, I see. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. And then, like, they did a reprint of them, and they were reprinted by THQ. So there's two different versions of them out there. Like, they're the same games. There's just a reprint that has like THQ's label on it instead. And actually, you know, like I had all three of them, and those are like ones that I got rid of and then I rebought. And I specifically like went on eBay like looking for the ones with the JVC on it, because those are the ones that I had. There's a lot more THQ ones out there than JVC.
Like, does it affect the value?
No, it has nothing to do with anything. It's just it was just a personal preference.
Right, I mean, it's just that, you know, sometimes, like, more uncommon printings of a game, you know, for, like, super collectors, like, can drive the price up or whatever.
Right. Oh! I was killed by a green slime. Oh, there is continue. Where does that take me to? Oh, it takes me back to the map screen.
So, did it have an indication of a limit to the continues, or what?
No. So I think there's probably unlimited continues.
Oh, well,
so like,
nice.
I remember thinking it was really hard. You probably feel like that a lot, don't you? Where you think you remember games being like way harder than they actually are even close to being.
I mean, I don't know, like, I think you have a lot more back in the day experience with, well, I don't know. I think you played a wider variety of games back at that time than I did. And, like, too, like, during the NES days, like, for so long, like, I was playing games, but I wasn't really playing them to beat them, because, like, I thought, like, oh, beating games, like that's something that, like, maybe some people can do, but I can't do that.
Right.
And then I'd beat Chip and Dale, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can do that. But, you know, slowly over time, you know, I beat Mario and stuff, but, like...
I used to have this huge list of, like, every game that I beat. Like, as a kid, I would write it all on a piece of paper. That's long gone.
Why would you have a list like that now? Out of date, though.
Yeah, it's super out of date.
But,
oh, look at the pictures looking at me.
But,
Oh, it's after 11, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is.
I mean, I think 2 hours is like a really good amount of time.
Yeah. Not a huge commitment, but we can play some games.
Yep. In that case... Well...
I just noticed you're killing those skeletons.
That's because I was using the bubbles.
Does that kill things?
Yeah.
Like anything?
I don't know. check out the idle animation. I wonder if it starts to get angry.
Look at that! Look at that tail wagging.
Yeah. Well, if there's anybody still in the chat, I don't know. Thank you for watching, and we'll see. Yeah, we'll probably see you next Sunday.
Yeah, we expect to be ready to do another next Sunday. Look for an episode, maybe Friday.
Yep. I think there will probably be one on Friday, and maybe the one after that too. Hang on. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.